Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another video. This is a very special interview with one of my previous clients, Chantel. I really have always been inspired by her since the beginning of working with her. And I'm really, really excited to just ask her some questions and share with you guys her success story as she has transitioned over to eating whole food plant-based, and just ask her some questions about how it's going. I'm always able to tell pretty early on when I work with a client if they're going to succeed or not. And Chantel blew me out of the water. Definitely one of the best people I've ever worked with regarding motivation and just making it happen. So, all right. Hello, Chantel. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm really good. I really do appreciate you for doing this because I know that it might make you feel a little bit nervous, but we're just going to jump right into these questions that I have for you, and we'll get started. Okay, so tell us a little bit about yourself and why you decided to make a change regarding your health.
Okay, so I've always wanted to be healthier. When I was younger, no one's really healthy when they're younger. We're going around doing stuff we're not supposed to. But as I grew older, I wanted to be healthier. I tried different things that didn't end up so well for me.
Can you go into a little bit of that background?
Yeah. So I tried doing keto and I lost weight on it, and that was great. But then I ended up really sick. I had kidney stones, had to spend some time in the hospital. So obviously that was not a good route for my body. And then I tried other things after that, like counting calories and doing all that. And that was very stressful for me because I had to always think about what I'm consuming. But of course, when you're doing a plan like that, you could consume 1,500 calories of cake and you're under calorie.
Yeah,
that's not good for you.
That's true.
So I wanted to make a change, and finding this just really worked for me and my body.
Okay, cool. Well, that's good. So when did you get to a point where you're like, you know what, it's time to make a change, or was it just a progressive kind of, I got to do this, let me do this?
Yeah, so it was definitely progressive. I kept trying different things, and it took maybe like 3 years till I found something that worked for me.
Okay, and how did you stumble upon even eating whole food plant-based?
So it was kind of a combination of a YouTube rabbit hole and finding some documentaries on Netflix.
What documentaries did you watch?
So like all of them. But the one that kind of shifted mine and my partner's thinking the most was the Game Changers. Because when I was first talking to him about plant-based, he would like kind of had a full body freak out and was like, we're not doing that. So then we watched that and he was like, oh, okay, so other guys do it too, maybe we'll try it.
I think it's a really powerful documentary for men. And I know we've had this conversation before, but just for everybody who's watching, I think that the most men that I've talked to that have decided to give plant-based a try, it's because of that documentary. So I think it's super powerful, although there's a lot of processed foods that they eat in that documentary. Yeah, for sure. Okay, so then what was the next thing that you did? You watched Game Changers, you went down the YouTube rabbit hole, and then what?
So we started like trying different recipes. We ended up going on vacation to Miami, and there's lots of like vegan restaurants there. So we tried that out, and then we had already tried some recipes from your YouTube. And then we looked into your weight loss program, and then I was like, we just need to do that because she can help guide us in a direction instead of just trying a bunch of random stuff.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's a good point. It's nice to have someone to be accountable to, whether you choose me or not. Like, it's good to just have someone be like, okay, this sounds good what you're doing, or let's just kind of direct you in the other direction. And I think that that's always a little bit helpful, especially like in the beginning, if you're not quite sure what to do. So like what were your goals when you began, or when you started working with me, or just when you were like, okay, we're doing this and it's progressing? What did you want to see happen?
So obviously I wanted to lose weight. And
you look great, by the way. I can totally see a slim face.
It kind of happened right off the bat, and it's just continued to happen. Of course, we went through the holidays.
How'd that go?
Well, learning what I've learned like, I didn't gain a bunch of weight. I didn't eat the best during the holidays, but I was able to maintain my weight, which was,
That's a
I
good
thought,
thing.
phenomenal, right?
That
And
is
now we're back
phenomenal.
on track, so it's good. It's
Good,
easy to
good,
fall
good.
back on track.
That's good.
Um,
And
I forgot.
so, oh, that's okay. Just like your goals when you started
Oh,
eating this way. So you wanted to lose weight, and what else?
so I wanted to kind of relearn what's actually good and what's not good, because there's so much misinformation out there. And at the end of the day, you're left feeling like, well, I didn't do very good today, or I just don't know anything.
Yeah, that's true.
Or
And
I'm tired of counting calories.
I know.
I
And
just
like you said, 1,500 calories of cake is 1,500 calories, but it's not going to keep you healthy or slim in the long term. And you have, even your mother has been dealing with some health conditions, so this has probably been a good eye opener for you, but I can imagine that you've been an example for her as well.
Yeah, she'll always, what are you doing for dinner tonight? Let me see.
Does
So
she lives nearby you so you can
yeah,
cook for her on occasion? That's awesome. And then, like you said, you mentioned that Mike, your partner, you guys have embarked on this together, and he's still in with you on all of this.
oh yeah, and he's actually cooking more now.
Good. That's
So he'll
good.
be like, I want to try this recipe.
And
Oh,
that's
it's
a
been good.
cool thing. There's so many like recipes available right now because there's so many food bloggers and YouTubers and all this stuff. There's so many things you can try. And I bet, just let me know what you think. As you do this more and more, you say, oh yeah, I know that I would like this, but I'm going to change this. And you just kind of become an expert to your own taste. And that's what's really cool about kind of like the time that we live in and YouTube University. Yeah, totally. Okay, let me see. So what specific changes, if you can just name like a couple specific changes that you've made since you've started eating whole food plant-based that really impacted your results and the way that you feel? I know one that I think was a specific one for you, but I'm going to let you answer.
Probably the one I'm going to say first. The biggest change was cutting out oil.
Yes, that was the one.
Right?
And so tell me why is that?
Because I didn't realize how much calories I was actually getting in my food from oil alone. So I was getting maybe an extra 600 calories a day.
Yeah, yeah.
And I couldn't
Figure out why it wasn't working. Yeah. And how did it feel when you stopped using oil?
So at first it was a little strange. I had to like relearn how to cook almost. But that happened pretty quickly. I couldn't really tell like how it felt right until I had oil again.
Okay.
So
yeah, that's a good.
We went out to eat and something had oil on it, and it was like just stays in your mouth, and it just felt gross, and then I kind of felt off the rest of the day.
Yeah, for
but
sure.
I had no idea until cutting it out and then having it introduced back. Right.
That's so true. I think that's like truly one of the best ways that you kind of find what's working for you and what's not. Like if you're like, you know what, I always have gummy bears at 4 p.m. and then you stop for 2 weeks and then you have them again. And you're like, that sits like a pit of rocks in my stomach and I didn't even realize it before. Totally. What else? Any other specific changes? Just a couple that you could mention?
I think another really beneficial one is eating salad or soup before the main meal.
For sure.
That helps a lot.
Helps with keeping you full, helps with getting lots of nutrients in before you go in and have other food, right? Yeah,
for sure.
Cool.
And then making all my own dressings.
What's your favorite? Can you share your favorite dressing recipe?
So my favorite dressing recipe is just some miso paste, some tahini, and some Dijon mustard. You mix it up with a little bit of water. Super good.
I'm going to try that. I actually have not tried that. I've used all of those separately, but that sounds really nice.
I have it on salads or avocado toast, like kind of on
everything.
It's very
versatile. Yeah. I'm definitely going to try that. I'm going to try that in my next meal. So it was miso paste, Dijon mustard, and tahini.
Yep.
Yeah.
And a little bit of
water. Okay, cool. And you just put it in the blender?
Yep.
Okay, cool. I'm going to try that. Okay, so now you've been kind of on this journey since like the beginning of summer 2020, would you say? Or was it a little bit earlier than that?
I think it was the beginning of summer.
Okay, cool. So what's keeping you motivated at this point? Now that you've been doing this 6 months, you've seen visible changes, you've seen weight loss, what's keeping you motivated now?
The way I feel.
Yeah.
I just feel better. Like I have less inflammation in my body. I can move around a lot easier. The scales just keeps going down,
Amazing.
and I'm not hungry. I'm feeling satisfied. Don't fix it if it's not broke type thing. Like it's
Absolutely.
really working,
Absolutely.
and it's easy. I never have to worry about counting my calories as long as I'm eating the right foods.
Right. Totally.
As long as I'm not eating vegan junk food or anything.
Yeah.
Um, but I'm just keeping it whole food. I can just eat till I'm full, and I don't have to think about it past that.
That's amazing. Like that's I feel like that's freedom for most people who've always struggled with their weight, myself included. Just being able to be like, okay, well, I know that I can freely eat. There's something I don't feel like you are somebody who suffered with food addiction, but for people who do suffer with binging or food addiction, that's something that you're constantly thinking about. The same way you kind of felt when you were counting calories and you were feeling like crazy. To release that crazy and just eat and have eating not be the main focus of your life, and you're just fueling your body to go do the things that you want to do. That's freedom for you, for me, for so many people out there. Yeah,
And it lifts that guilty feeling.
it
Like
really
you don't
does.
feel guilt anymore, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And just to be able to like walk around and do your life without that feeling, you don't think it's that heavy, but it is a really heavy feeling to have. So I think that's awesome. And I've noticed that you're just doing more and more exercise. As I follow you on social media, I see that you guys are doing more and more things. So talk about a little bit about your exercise from when you began to what you're doing now.
So when we began, I kind of wasn't doing anything.
Mm-hmm.
But now we're doing foundation training.
Okay, tell us what that is.
So it helps you with your posture. It's isometric movements.
Mm-hmm.
Makes you feel stable, makes you feel good.
Okay.
That with yoga, starting a lot more hiking,
Awesome.
just more active things on a day to day. Not so much in the gym.
That's okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you're much more active, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe just with inflammation in the knees, correct? Was there, and now it's feeling much better just from the diet, and you're able to actually move your body more.
Yeah, go for longer. So.
Yeah. That's awesome. Most people that I work with, even if they don't like exercising initially, by the end of the time we're working together or even months down the road, they're like doing things just like you, and it makes you feel better. So that's really awesome. Let's see. I'm just got a couple more questions here. So let's talk about now, because I really do feel like you're a success story. I don't, I'm not saying this to like blow smoke up your butt or anything like that. I can tell right away with somebody if they're going to do it, if they're not. And you absolutely were so motivated. You were just like rolled with all the punches of, I'm going to get this done. And yeah, we're doing good. We're doing good. This is going well. So what would you say to anybody who's kind of thinking about starting a whole food plant-based diet? Any advice you could give them?
My biggest thing is like, just do it. Don't worry about counting calories and all that pressure. Just eat whole real food and you'll succeed. Like it's that simple. Just keep it simple.
Yeah, for sure. And for those who have started a whole food plant-based diet, but feel like they're kind of failing, do you have any last little tips that you could share? Did you have like any pitfalls that you just kept finding yourself running into that you kind of figured out a way to turn your struggle or your obstacle into a way to move forward with eating this way?
So I didn't have any pitfalls because I think I started in the right way.
Mm-hmm.
So take Michele's course because it helps so much.
Thank you.
Because I think if someone is like trying it and having pitfalls, to have that support of somebody and to be like, here's the direction you can go, and all you have to do is follow it. It made it so much easier, and I'm able to stick with it without having those struggles because I know what to do.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm really happy because, you can give somebody all the tools in the world, but if they don't take those tools and put them to work in their own life, it doesn't work. But I'm really happy for you and for Mike, and that this is really, a new lifestyle for you guys. And I can't wait to see you know, what happens 6 months more down the road and see where you guys are. How far are you? We don't have to name numbers, but how far are you from the goal weight that you want to be at now?
So I like don't really have a goal weight of where I want to be.
Just want to feel good.
Yeah, I just want to feel good.
Mm-hmm.
But from where I started, I'm 30 pounds down.
Awesome. That's wonderful. You feel
That's
great.
Yeah, that's amazing.
It is amazing. It's something to really be proud of. How about Mike? Was he going in this with you for weight loss or more for health or?
More for health.
Okay.
But he's lost just about almost 40 pounds.
Oh my gosh, men,
Yeah.
they always lose more. But good for him. That's awesome.
He's feeling really good. He had a lot of inflammation, and now he's like no inflammation unless he eats something that he shouldn't.
Yeah.
And then he can feel it right away though, so he can go back and say like, oh, I know it was that. I'm not going to have that again.
That's a wonderful, wonderful point, because a lot of times people are like, I feel this and I don't know what's causing it. But if you're able to eliminate the junk food and then you have it again, you're like, okay, that's exactly what it was. I remember having a conversation with you, actually, I think in one of our coaching sessions, just about something like that. So I think it's really awesome that you can kind of tell immediately what the thing is, and then you just don't have it anymore and you feel better.
That feeling isn't worth it.
No, it's not worth it. It's worth it to like wake up in the morning and feel refreshed and not groggy and not still full from dinner the night before. And it's worth it to be able to go out and accomplish other goals that you have. And really, like, this is the least of your things that you think about. Would you agree? Yeah. Okay, cool. Well, I'm not going to keep you too long, and I don't want this video to be ages long, but I really, really, truly appreciate you doing this interview with me. And I've been wanting to do this with you for a very long time. I was just like, okay, when is the right time? So thank you, Chantel, for doing this. And if you guys have any questions for Chantel, please leave them down in the comments, and I'm sure she can check it out and answer you, or I can answer whatever she doesn't. So any last words for anybody watching that you want to share?
If you're struggling, just do Michele's course.
Thank you. I appreciate the plug.
It's so helpful though. Like, because there's a ton of different YouTubers doing a ton of different stuff. You can sit there and try any recipe under the sun, right? But to have guidance and like a tribe, so to say, to support you, that makes a huge difference in where you're going to end up. It's so true. And I like one of like the biggest things that I find so much joy from is checking up and seeing what my clients are up to and how they're continuing to succeed. And so I wish you guys all the best. And thank you again for doing this with me. I appreciate it. Hey you guys, I'm sitting here editing and realized I didn't do an outro. So I just want to say thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that you were inspired by Chantel's journey and her discipline and how this is really totally possible. If you are looking to make a change in your life, whether it be to eating more whole plant foods or whether you're trying to lose weight and you just feel like you need a little bit of direction, I would love to help you out. I will link down below how you can find out more on my website. And if you'd like to work with me, please know it is my greatest honor and pleasure to help people get to where they want to go regarding weight loss and whole food plant-based eating. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next video. Have a great day. Bye.